Do you want to know potentially one of the biggest transfer stories of the summer, alongside potentially one of the biggest bargains of the summer? Well, look no further than Bayern Munich's Joshua Kimmich. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Yes, today's video is going to centre around Joshua Kimmich, who may be leaving Bayern Munich this summer as Bayern are attempting this sort of clear out of their squad. A lot of change is potentially happening at Bayern Munich, and one of those changes may be seeing a bit of a club legend in Joshua Kimmich, who's been there and done it all with the club, leave this summer under Vincent Kompany's reign. We're going to be talking about Joshua Kimmich. We're going to be talking about the numerous amounts of clubs that are interested in him. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always very greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section. I'm sure everybody's got a lot to say about this potential transfer story. So do get involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That'll make for great interesting reading, I'm sure. Use and abuse that comment section, people. I'm sure a lot of people have got an interesting thing or two to say about a certain Joshua Kimmich. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Joshua Kimmich and the interested teams that are interested in taking him this summer. No, first and foremost, this is nothing necessarily new. We know that Joshua Kimmich's contract is up relatively soon. In fact, I think it's the end of next year. I think we have talked about it before on the channel, and we have basically stated that his contract is up at the end of next season, and we've talked about certain teams that have been interested before, and we've talked about how Kimmich himself is seemingly open to the idea of leaving Bayern Munich and is considering his options. So this is like nothing completely out of the blue. This is nothing bizarre or new, but there has seemingly been developments over the past day, or maybe even slightly longer than that, in regards to the potential of Kimmich's exit this summer from Bayern. Obviously, on Bayern's part, we know that Vincent Kompany has come in. We know that there is seemingly a lot of things that need tidying up at Bayern. I think this season was a bit of an eye-opener for them, that it probably won't be as easy again to sort of walk the Bundesliga as they have done so dominantly for over the past decade, because obviously this season Bayern were trophyless by the end of it. They finished third in the Bundesliga. No German Cup to kind of compensate, or even a Champions League as well. So a lot was obviously to change at Bayern. They went through a fair few different manager options because, you know, they understood and they knew they were going to get rid of Thomas Tuchel, despite the fact that they tried to keep Tuchel in the end because, you know, Xabi Alonso didn't want to go to Bayern and Ralf Rangnick didn't want to go to Bayern, and one or two others may have been in the mix as well. But eventually they did land on Vincent Kompany, and as we have heard, there does seem to be a plan of action in place for a bit of a clear out at Bayern. There does seem to be a few top players that Bayern currently have within their ranks that are seemingly in the shop window this summer. And one of those players is Joshua Kimmich, who has been attracting a lot of interest, as you would expect and imagine, for a player of his ability, his talent, and of course, his pedigree, experience, yada, yada, yada. This guy is awesome. We have talked about him on the channel a fair few times before. This guy is brilliant. Right back, centre defensive midfield, pushing into a more advanced role. It doesn't matter where you play him, he can do it all. His versatility is superb. His passing is brilliant. His awareness, his intelligence, his movement, his tenacity, his pressing, and of course, just being on the ball in general, keeping things simple, and even providing assists and maybe even the goal or two from wherever he is on that pitch. He can do it all. So it's no wonder there is a whole host of clubs that are chasing him this summer. And the development over the past 24 hours or so has seemingly been that this guy, who has got a lot of experience, a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of ability, a lot of talent, a lot of quality, could be available for a minimum of £25 million. Now, He's 29 years of age, so he is pretty much well within the prime of his career, you would imagine. But even so, 25 million as a minimum. 25 million. And he's only just turned 29 as well. Turned 29 in February. So, for a guy like that, with everything that he possesses, all the experience, all the quality, all the talent, all the leadership. We haven't even mentioned the leadership factor yet. Leadership, the versatility, everything about this guy for £29 million would be perfect for any team, any top team from Europe, if Bayern are to lose him. Now, for Bayern's part, I think if they are after a clear out, it's understandable as to why they would cash in on him now, whilst rather than obviously lose him on a free next season. 25 million. Okay, it may not be the perfect price for Kimmich, because obviously I think a player of his ability could easily go for more, but considering, like I say, he does have 1 year left on his current deal with the club, given the fact that obviously he may want to leave the club himself and may not therefore re-sign with Bayern Munich, it does obviously put the selling club at a bit of a disadvantage in terms of these negotiations. But for the buying club, they are going to get one hell of a bargain for whoever does buy him, if obviously he is to go for the kind of £25 million baseline price that is being talked about. Teams that are interested include the usual suspects: your Real Madrids, your Barcelonas, your Manchester Cities. But there's also reported interest, and has been constant interest, from the likes of Arsenal and Liverpool. And over the past 24 hours or so, past few days maybe, Arsenal have seemingly been really pushing for this, and have been quoted by certain people out there and certain journalists as being in advanced negotiations with Kimmich over personal matters, personal details, personal negotiations, things of that nature. And of course, now that we seemingly know a bit of a price range, it's a perfect deal to get done, right? Like, I struggle to find a bad thing to say about the potential of this deal. I really do. I struggle to find anything bad about this deal. Even his age is perfect. Especially for like a club like Arsenal, who, you know, as good as what Ben White has been this season, I don't necessarily see him being a viable option for the long-term future. Kimmich is easily an upgrade. Kimmich is easily an upgrade on Ben White for the here and now, for the slight long-term. And like I say, he is better than Ben White. He is more versatile than Ben White. He's got more leadership than Ben White. He is just a better option there. And look at Liverpool's situation. Having Kimmich there, okay, you've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, but maybe with Trent, it's about getting someone who is a decent backup. Maybe it's about, obviously, changing things up sometimes. Maybe it's about, you know, seeing that we need a bit more of a reserved fullback in certain games. That's a bit more defensively in tune, shall we say. A bit more aware than what Trent is. Trent's a special talent, and I'm not dismissing or trying to, you know, hurt Trent as a player when I say these things. But we all know defensively his game isn't the best. It's not the best defensively. Whereas Kimmich is a bit more well-rounded in that kind of area. Again, Kimmich's best asset is probably not going forward either when in comparison to Trent, but you get what I'm trying to say. Having him, not necessarily as a backup, but as competition for Trent's position, and also the potential to move him around as well into different positions should time allow it, would obviously be beneficial to Liverpool. And anything that's going to make the squad better is good in my book. We know what obviously Real Madrid could potentially do with him. We obviously know what Manchester City could potentially do with him. Him working under Pep Guardiola would be insane and immense. We obviously know that Kyle Walker is heading towards the end of his career, and in my personal opinion, defensively again, he does sometimes switch off at key moments. Having that competition behind him in the form of Kimmich or competition of Kyle Walker for Kimmich, whichever way around you want to see it, could be beneficial. And again, you've got Kimmich's versatility, which could move around that Manchester City squad and that Manchester City starting 11. We know what Kimmich could provide to any of those clubs, which is why I will reiterate this point yet again. For the baseline of 25 million, if that is to be the roundabout price that he is going for someone of his ability on the ball, for someone of his knowledge and awareness off the ball, and his intelligence off the ball, as well as his movement, his experience, his leadership, for a 29-year-old right back who can play at centre-back, who can play at centre defensive midfield, play central midfield, play right wing if he has to, probably even going goal if obviously he was called to do it. The guy has got everything, is everything, and for that amount of money is an absolute bargain. I seriously, for the life of me, cannot see anything wrong about a potential deal here. And I think Bayern are not exactly in the strongest position with negotiations and things of that nature, and I think they will be kicking themselves a little bit that they can't get even more money out of Kimmich. But at the same time, if this is to be a new era at Bayern Munich, and this is to be a Bayern Munich of a lot of change going forward, then, this may not be the best way to start, but, we'll obviously have to wait and see what their end game is and what their kind of plans of action are in the aftermath of maybe not just Kimmich leaving, but other top players that Bayern currently have leaving as well. So it'd be interesting to see on their part how they do. But this is certainly one transfer story to keep your eyes on. This is certainly a situation that could obviously properly move forward very, very quickly indeed. Joshua Kimmich, potentially one of the bargains of the summer, but we'll obviously have to wait and see all on that one. These are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Joshua Kimmich? What do you make of a potential move away from Bayern Munich this summer? And where do you see his footballing future lying? Do you think it will be with a Real Madrid or a Manchester City? Or do you think it will be for an Arsenal or a Liverpool, say? Maybe even there's someone else waiting in the wings. We haven't really talked about Manchester United or Chelsea. They seemingly are normally in and amongst these kinds of discussions. Not really talked about them. Chelsea's situation financially may not exactly support this move completely. But I want to know what you guys think and feel on this. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it on this potential transfer story. I'm sure will make great and interesting reading down below in that comment section. So please do use and abuse that comment section and get involved. Talk to me here, people. Would love to know what you guys think and feel. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way if you enjoy the video. Subscribe if you are new and want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.